Hi my scrappy friends, and a big welcome to my channel today on this lovely Monday morning. So this layout is for Cut to You. I'm using these two cut files. So the award ribbon, I'm just using the title and the leaf edge, and this is the page that I have created. I have cut, I'm pretty sure, both of these on smooth white cardstock, and you can see I've peeled that off the cutting mat and I've stuck it onto a way less sticky mat to do my mixed media. There is no gesso on this cut file at all because I wasn't going to go too stupid with colour or water. So I am just pulling out some colours here. I'm going to use all greens and I'm just going to add them to my leaf cut file here. I'm just activating these colours that I've got. I wonder if I have written down which colours they are. I don't think I have. One of them I think is celery. I think one of them is pining for you. And I'm guessing. I'm totally guessing. But you can see I'm just randomly adding colour, using my paintbrush, not really paying particular attention to where the colour's going. Just making sure it's going, pretty much. And so I'm just going to keep going with this until I'm happy with the colours that I've got. I do use all three colours just for a bit of colour variation and interest. At this stage, I wasn't 100% sure exactly what I was going to be doing with these. I just loved them and wanted to cut them, so I cut them and then painted them, and then I decided what I was going to do with them. Like I said, bringing in some different shades just for a bit of variance in the colour, adding some splatters. Working on this old cutting mat made it super easy. It meant my cut file wasn't constantly moving while I was trying to paint. If you've ever tried to paint one of these when you've jumped the gun and peeled it off your mat before you meant to. So I'm going to use my heat tool here, and I'm going to, you can see what I'm doing there. I'm just lifting it up so that once that paint and the liquid dries, it doesn't like stick permanently, because often I've had that happen to me a number of times. So I'm just soaking up some of the water, making sure it's not going to stick on there forever, because I do want to use this cut file. I'm quite happy to bend those leaves up as well. At this stage, like I said, I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with it, so I thought that I would have them kind of floating without sticking them down. You will see though that does change. Just adding a bit more colour in a couple of places, and just doing the same thing with the smaller one here. This is quite a fiddly cut file when you cut it this small, I will warn you, but I love how they look in the end. So then I had this genius idea that I was going to back all my leaves with some vellum. Again, this was quite a time-consuming process. You saw there, I was going to trace them with my pencil, and then I tried to, and because the cut file is so delicate, it kind of moved when I put the pencil on the vellum. So I'm going to add some glue behind the leaf and then stick it to a piece of vellum, and I'll go back through and then trim around each of the leaves after that is done. So I'm going to show you, I only show you a few leaves here because, like I said, this was a fairly time-consuming process. If you do decide to do something like this, just you be prepared. It is a time-consuming process, but I really love the soft look of this vellum in the end, and I'm really happy with it. I'm glad I took the time to do it. Pretty sure this is the last one that I make you watch. Yep, okay, just dabbing up the extra glue. What I've got here is the 6x8 paper pad. I wasn't sure what paper I was going to back behind my title, so I'm just trying out a few. And I really love this dark blue one, so that's what I'm going to go with. Because I had saved my cut file, I was able to get my Cameo to do the hard work of cutting the inside pieces for me. I've just done my normal kind of, I can't remember which way I did it actually. I'm not sure if I used the inside or the outside, but I would have done either an internal offset or an external offset. I've started here with the 2U's because they're both joined together and they're loose. Well, they're not loose, but the rest of the letters are all joined together just about. So then the D, and I'm not going to make you watch all of this, but you can see how easy it is when you get your Cameo to cut it for you. I love the way this looks. And there we are. So I've come up with this kind of layout for my page. As you can see, I'm using the Paige Evans Bloom Street collection. I just went completely blank then. I'm using this. This is one of my favourite pattern papers, the one I've got in the background here. So I wanted to definitely use that as a full sheet. That's from the paper pad. I've just added a white border there just to separate those two photos from my background a little bit more. So I'm scrapping two 3x4 photos again today. I've printed them together as one 4x6 and I've left them together. There's no white border on that, but like I said, I did add a white border around the paper after, no, not around the paper, around the photos after I had added some tissue paper and some foam. I'm going to get to sticking these cut files down. So you can see I've just applied a bit of glue along that bottom edge and onto a couple of like the stems that are leading upwards in this case. And I'm going to very carefully add little dots of glue like to the tips of the leaves and like where they join together, and just little tiny dabs of glue. I've been watching Gwen. So I did toy with the idea of adding some foam behind this, and then I just went, you know what, if I back them with paper and not vellum, definitely, but not since I backed them with vellum. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm just adding little dabs of glue, working a little section at a time and sticking that down. I figured this way then I wouldn't get glue absolutely everywhere, and I would have half a chance of this sticking where I wanted it to stick. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the other one, and here you go. So they are stuck flat to my page. What am I doing? Oh, white splatters. So I had to add some more white splatters. Well, some splatters of some sort, didn't I? It's me. So I've gone straight in again with that white India ink, and I'm just using the little dropper from the bottle, and then I'm going to go in with a smaller, with a paintbrush for some finer droplets, little sprinkles. And then I'm going to pop this aside to dry. While that was drying, I did have a little bit of a play, and I've come up with the idea of a cluster to the top right hand side of my photos and to the bottom left hand side of the photos. I have stuck my title to my photos as well. And you can see here I'm just trimming off some of this white border. There was a bit too much. So I'm just going in with my tiny Tim Holtz scissors and trimming that white border off. I've got my journaling on that little card. Now, Blondie, man, this is really funny. So you can see I'm lining that up. I want to get that right in the center. I've got the center line between the two photos to work off, so I know I can line that up with my 6 inches. Popping that back in, I'm going to trace around it so that I know exactly where to add my tape so that I do not glue that section down. Get distracted because I realized that it wasn't all sitting as flush as I wanted it to be, so I'm just digging around for some smaller bits of this foam. I'm going to add some pieces along the cut file here, and then it's all going to be like the same level. Okay, so I've got that where I want it. It's lined up where I need it to be. I'm going to start gluing, and I'm going to use wet glue. Who picked up what I didn't do? As I was gluing that, I was like, oh my goodness, that's not going to work. How am I going to get my journaling card in there? So I quickly ripped it up. I am using the tacky glue, which dries super quick, but I had enough time to pull it up, and I've gone back in with some double-sided tape and just gone around the edge of where I drew that line, and I've used my double-sided tape to stick that down. I'm just slowly gluing all of the rest of this down, just using my Scotch tacky glue. Again, just doing it a little bit at a time, because I found that when I try to do it all at once, it's a disaster. I get glue everywhere. Adding a small cluster here. So I've got that sun to the top right hand side. I wanted some yellow on that diagonal as well. I ran out of space on my phone, so you didn't see me finish this page off, but you can see I've gone in with some enamel dots. I've added a couple of stickers underneath my title. My journaling is on that journaling card, which has been slotted in, and then that rounds out my page. I'm really, really happy with how this page turned out. This collection is gorgeous. These cut files are so fun to work with. I hope you've enjoyed my share today, and if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and I will see you again soon with another share. Have a fantastic day.